the first Veterans Court started in Buffalo, New York, with a judge named Robert Russell. He noticed that veterans dealt far better with other veterans. That veterans who were often lacking in pride in a normal drug court program came into his court when they were in a program exclusively among veterans with their heads held high. And he developed the first Veterans Court in 2008. Ours started right at the beginning of 2012, and it's based on the same principle, that among veterans there is a sense of camaraderie and loyalty and duty. And we can draw upon these strengths, and these veterans can lend their strength to each other and in turn help each other make it through this program. It's marvelously successful. Let me tell you right now that our recidivism rate is 13%. That's really good. I want to do better, but the Department of Corrections, with the same figures, runs between 50 and 70% over the years. We're doing a good job. Recidivism is defined as getting into trouble within 3 years after your graduation from the program. Now, I take a real broad approach on who I'll accept into our Riverside County Veterans Court. If in doubt, I want to accept them. We do not, however, accept homicide or sex offenses. The individual must be a veteran, which means they must have served in uniform, and they must have a diagnosis related to their military service. One of the most common is post-traumatic stress disorder. I've had veterans who have killed over 50 people. I've supervised veterans who've cleaned up after car bombs that have killed over 50 people. PTSD is nothing to play with. It causes issues like avoidance, severe depression, blaming, irritability. What happens is many of our veterans turn to drugs to address symptoms. You know, crushing depression is very easily handled. Just use some methamphetamine. When you don't want to remember something, just use alcohol. The problem is these things are not a long-term fix, but they are a fix for a while. The problem is veterans with a predilection to getting addicted get addicted. Then it's like, particularly with something like methamphetamine on post-traumatic stress disorder, it's like throwing gas on a fire. Now, I feel very strongly about taking violent offenses here in my program. I think we should be treating violent offenders, domestic violence offenders, because I'm trying to avoid a problem down the way, maybe 15 years from now. But the violence, in my view, I have to make a finding that this violence is related to their military service. I'm not interested in taking mean people into court. I'm taking the good people who have stumbled because of we send them over to some really bad place. And we teach men and women in the service to react with violence to threats. They come home, they have a psychological condition that has them seeing threats. Domestic violence is common, and I by no means am supporting domestic violence. It's appalling. But I can tell you, I feel very strongly that we need to be treating our veterans if this violence is a direct result of their military service. And by that, we come up with a treatment plan. Then the program is an 18-month program divided into 4 phases. I expect the veterans to show up on time, well-dressed. None of this shorts and t-shirts. In the program, they receive regular drug testing. At the beginning, the first 3 months or whenever, they are to come to court once a week. This type of intense supervision has been shown on vet courts and with drug courts to actually to work. It works well. It's got a great rate, as you can see by our 13%. Now, what's interesting about this program, when I say drug court or a collaborative court, it means that we have individuals sitting at our table, all working for the betterment of the veteran without this usual advocacy stuff that you deal with in other courts. We have the Veterans Administration, a federal agency. They provide the lion's share of the treatment for the veterans. I'm a state court judge. We have the county probation department that supervises, district attorney looking out for public safety, public defender or private attorneys assisting the veteran, all of these people are working collaboratively. You don't find that anywhere else. And it works, I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it works most of the time, works quite well. This collaborative approach where everybody is unified telling this veteran what to do avoids those kind of loopholes where an addict might be released in 2 days who really needs residential treatment. I'm real proud of the program. I'm proud of our people. One of the big things that is our mentors. Mentors are veterans themselves. They're friends, they're battle buddies. They help out the veteran. They come to court with them. And you're going to meet 2 of our mentors shortly. I found the drug testing and the regular appearances are critical. The support of fellow veterans are critical. At these court appearances, when they come to me, they receive regular feedback once a week at the beginning. And why that's so important, it's not like someone's using and we let them go 2 months before we drag them into court. We're right on top of these issues because we are committed to this veteran improving. I can praise individuals. We give actually little rewards, maybe a month off the program or something, or we'll even negative. I can actually put people in jail, though I rarely do that. But the negative could be just a chewing out. The negative could be, here, tell you what, you relapsed again for the 3rd time. Maybe you should write a reflective essay describing why this happened. The one thing I've learned that you never do is you never get worked up as a judge. I do my best not to because, working with addicts, they're going to fail you. I have people who have been to 6, 7 programs that have now been clean for 10 years. We don't give up on people here in Riverside County Veterans Court. We finished with what I would call quite thrilling graduation. We've had guest speakers at this graduation that come and honor the veterans who've graduated our program. And then finally, the thing is, the reason they're pushing for that is they can actually get their charges reduced or dismissed. I want to thank you for letting us come into your lives and giving us the opportunity to tell you a little about our Riverside County Veterans Court. As I've said a couple times, if you have a veteran who's struggling, get in touch with us. We're here every Friday in Department 31 in the Hall of Justice in Riverside, and we're here to help veterans. Thank you.